those who serve and lead this community. God, we ask that your hand be with us tonight. God, that you help us to follow after your will. God, that you will give us the ability, the strength, the wisdom to lead and serve in a manner that is pleasing to you. We thank you for everything that you do in your blessings. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen. All right, we'll call our meeting to order. All the magistrates is here. We need approval of the meeting minutes for August the 15th for our regular meeting, and then August the 23rd for our special meeting we had to have.
I'll make a motion for the minutes.
All right, motion by Kevin. Second by Brad. All in favor? All right, motion carries. Thank you. Okay, we don't have any unfinished business. Our new business, we'll start with road. Kenny, supervisor's report.
Well, we're grading and doing some in-house patching, still growing too. You know, dry as it is, grass is still growing. So, Blacktop Company, as of right now, they're gonna start blacktopping for us Thursday. So, unless something changes, what the plan was this afternoon. We've got the road grader going. Of course, with this in-house patching, we have to pull the grader operator off to help us road. So you might see the grader sit a couple of days just because he's rolling blacktop for us. So that's pretty much what we're doing. We got one tractor completely down for the year. The mowing's gonna start slowing down, so we're just gonna park it for the year and work on that next year. So, but everything else is going pretty good. And they started the salt building today, seen them down there, so other than that, everything's going pretty good.
Yeah, they poured footers this morning, and I don't know, they'll probably pour the walls in a couple of days, maybe. I really don't know for sure when they're gonna do that, but it'll be good to get that done and get the material in it before winter. Any questions for Kenny?
And one other thing, our in-house money is not, not very much. So I know there's some magistrates wanting some spots done. We're not going to be able to do it. We're going to run out of money before, so I just want to let everybody know, that.
We'll get as many as we can.
Yeah, we'll do what we can.
Yeah. And there's something else I was thinking when you was talking. Of course, they're gonna start on that next week, and week after next, just so all the magistrate knows, Kenny's gonna go on vacation. So if you have any questions, you can call me. I'll be back, and I'll be out there every morning. And so if you have any questions, just call me. But don't call me wanting a bunch of stuff. Brad Fisher. Okay, Brad, you want to give a committee report? I know y'all had your meeting.
Yeah, we had one. Discussed maintenance of equipment. Seems like everything's going good. Of course, like you said, we're going to park the bush hog till next year, and we've spending up on stuff this year. It seems like we don't need it, so we're going to park it till first of the year. We discussed on the gas trucks where they get gas at BP, getting numbers on the trucks, people signing, whoever gets the gas, sign a ticket for it, turn it into Amanda.
That would be turned to Travis.
For Travis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it would be good.
Yeah, and if they filling up the tank in the back of the truck, or whatever it's for, keep a better record. We're planning on waiting on the traco for doing the ditching until after all the blacktopping's done.
Yeah, we need to get that done first.
It's ready to go. I spoke with Danny, and he said whenever, but I told him probably the first October, middle October, whatever. So, yeah, we also discussed the Chevrolet, the 08 that Dan's got, but bringing it back to the county barn and putting the utility bed on it. I mean, it's something we need to talk about with you and Scotty, Travis. Of Cause the L2 Chevy's about the utility bed's on about to.
That's just Chevrolet for you.
Yeah, I know, yeah. But anyway, that's about all we got. And, like I said, I think Joe's gonna start putting walls up. I think they'll be poured by Friday. Thank you.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice to get that done.
Yeah,
And then when they get, if you go by there and see, it looks like it's down in a hole right now, but as soon as they get that done, I'll get, Doug Hicks, he'll come back and take the high lift and cut that in like it needs to be cut in around there to set the elevation right where we don't get water running into the.
and also, the post out there on the, we talked about, I talked to Joseph the other day, he said he would fix them and wouldn't turn the bill in. So, I said, whatever, just goes out.
It'd be good to get that fixed before we
Well,
get
if he don't do
snowing.
it, I'll pull them out, somebody over there, do it, I can't do it. Let Danny Shane do it, but he's under
Well,
carpenter.
turn his phone off first. He's struggling
Well,
over
let
with
me
his
have it.
telephone.
It's a new phone.
And,
Can't see it.
I can't turn it off.
But yeah, and I put in a call to Joe Paul at Kentucky Hoop Barns. I actually called him last week and he called me back today. I think as soon as the walls is up, he'll be ready to put the bowls and the tarp on it.
Okay, that's good.
What's that?
Somebody turn that phone off for him, he can't see.
I've been hitting the off button the whole time, I can't get it off.
All right, planning and zoning, solid waste, Jason.
Yeah, we had 31 electrical permits last month and also 31 building permits. The next Board of Justice meeting will be September 25th at 7 o'clock. And there's no planning and zoning meeting for October. And I just wanted to mention that we had our tire amnesty, and thanks to Kenny's crew for helping for 3 days. And, I don't have a count on the tires, which they'll just give us a weight, not actually how many tires, but if anybody came out there, I know Brad came out there, but trust me, when I say there was a lot of tires turned in, I mean, there was tons of tires.
There were thousands.
Oh, absolutely. So I think it was a good event, got rid of a lot of junk, so, and that's all.
Yeah, thank you for the road department guys for helping out with that. That's some hard work unloading all those tires. And, it went smooth. I mean, we didn't have a line hardly at all, so it went real well, so thank everybody. All right, Parks and Fairgrounds, Director's Report. What told?
I'm over here. Since the heat, the grass has slowed down, and, so not much to add with that. Splash pad closed, so we'll be getting the features off of the pad and getting it winterized soon. The new ball field is almost complete. They seeded and strung out there today and, over the weekend, and same thing here. Got the dirt out here covered up. So next spread will be just the fencing. And that's all I have.
Nick, the ball field looks great. I will say, if some don't know, Jason Klintner, his company's the one that did the, excavating work, and he contacted Travis and myself and said that he would, if we wanted to go ahead and put the rock on that parking lot, as long as we would pay for the rock, he would pay for the hauling of the rock and putting it down. And, because he said he would like to leave and the job be completely finished. So I called the quarry and they give us a discount on the rock and, about a $4 discount, wasn't it? $4 discount a ton on the rock, which is a big saving. So thanks to Liger's Quarry and thanks to Jason, because if you looked at it, I mean, it's smooth as this floor here. He done a great job, and it was really just trying to help his community. So I want to, if you see him, tell him thank you for doing that. Travis, you want to talk about the story walk thing?
Yeah, so, we I guess the library maybe came before, talking about Story Walk a while back. But basically what it is there's 20 stations around the walking trail out at the new park, that they're gonna interchange stories, I believe monthly, so that to encourage reading as well as health. But they're gonna be having, ribbon cutting on October 10th at 5:30. The event's from 5 to 7. I believe they're planning on having a story in there and walking around the trail, but the ribbon cutting part is at 5:30 if anyone could attend. And then we've got Trail or Treat. We mentioned it last meeting, but again, October 20th from 5 to 7. We've got close to 70 groups already that have signed up to participate. We're still waiting to hear back from a few that we've left messages that have in the past. So I think we're going to have even a bigger turnout of groups. Hopefully the number of kids stays about the same because we've capped off out there with the crowd size. But it's a busy 2 hours. And then the third thing that I've got park related is Mona Huff approached us about being able to use the new park for a walking. She's with the Kentucky Coalition Healthy Communities for their annual walking challenge for health and wellness. So it's the whole month of September. It's by counties. I'm not exactly sure who all's in there, but it's competition amongst counties. She wanted to make sure that we brought the trophy. I guess last year Henry County had the trophy, so I was bringing that up so we could see that. And there's a way, if you're interested in it, you can contact me and I can get you information on how you can enter your steps if you're interested in participating in that event. I think that's everything for parks.
That's a good event for us to stay healthy. They're gonna have a walk on October the 2nd, I think, or that's when they turn their steps in, but, it is a good event. Okay, Animal Services, Dan's on vacation, so he's not here, but I will tell you, from our office, there's just, if we didn't have animal complaints, we would run pretty smooth probably, because it's like it's always something with animals. Probably we do get more calls for animals than we do any other thing in the office. It's like, and they come in packs, but we deal with as many as we can, try to be as fair with as many as we can. Sometimes it's neighbors against neighbor, you just have to deal with that. Some of it's legal issues that we don't even need to be involved in. But Cassidy, she helps us with that sometimes, and it's just different issues that we deal with. Roger, did you all meet?
We just met briefly, but it's mainly, we know it's the day-to-day operations of the shelter that's being challenged right now with labor being short, and I'm sure we're addressing that from your end.
Yes, I've talked to
Trying to get it straightened out.
Judge Osborne, and we put applications in, or put out for applications. A lot of people are just wanting to come and pet dogs, but we need somebody that can go out and, if we need to get a dog or whatever. So that's kind of complicating things as far as some of our applications, because it's more than just grooming dogs when you're dealing at the animal shelter. So we're trying to work that out, and then I talked to the judge about, we're gonna split Jones' pay between the two counties, and that will, free up a little bit more help on our side too. So hopefully we can get somebody hired and get that issue. We're trying to keep, both counties, whoever our animal control officer is, we're trying to make sure they don't take off on the same days, and it seems like everybody gets sick on the same days and that kind of thing, and that's when it's really hectic. We're working on that. All right, ABC, Ed.
Yes, had a very good quarter. All the fourth quarter fees have been paid. We now have 20 licensed businesses 19 are currently selling retail alcohol. We now have a waiting list of 3 people that want to buy a package license now that they're all gone, that occurred about 2 days after that last one went. Funny how that works. Fiscal year ending June 30th is our second highest year, and the total revenue since we've gone wet is just shy of $750,000. So a couple more years, we'll probably hit that million mark. Any questions?
Hey, let me ask you, there's so many licenses we can have, what's that based on?
It's based on population, and as we grow, that number will grow. We're allowed to have 6 package. Now, all the other licenses are what they call non-quota, unlimited. You can have as many malt license, as many by drink license restaurants as you want. But the package, and I've never really understood why they make such a big deal out of it, but they make a big deal out of the package, and they call it spirits, distilled spirits and wine. Malt, you can have as many as you want, but they make a big distinction on distilled spirits and wine. And another thing that's confusing about it is that 6 is for the whole county. So all 6 can be in eminence, 3 can be in eminence, and 3 out in the county. So we share those. And there's 3 in eminence right now, 3 out in the county, and 1 has just been purchased and not open yet. So it's supposed to be open in Newcastle.
So any restaurant can move in and sell?
Any restaurant, we can have as many restaurants, but they have, the rule is they have to serve food. Now the court decided 2-3 years ago that we don't allow bars. Now we could have, if that ever changed, we could have 6 strictly bars that, based on population again, that wouldn't have to sell food. So you can call it a bar and grill. That's another thing people get confused about. I can open a bar and grill and call it a bar and grill, but if I don't serve at least 50% of our income, get 50% of my income from food, I can't sell alcohol. I have to prove that. We have to document that every quarter.
You say it's based on population, so are you saying that we're stuck with 6 until the next census?
I think that's correct. I'm not sure on that, but I'm assuming that's what they base it on.
Right, so
So if our population grows enough, and that's all done by the state, I don't have anything to do with that. They just tell
I
me.
know there's a lot of people out there wanting them now
Yeah.
and asking questions.
The only way you get a package license now is to buy a store that's already open, and that has just happened. One's been bought in Sligo that's moving
Yes, sir.
to
Right.
Pendleton.
Can you say the cumulative revenue from this is 750,000?
$747,378 since we went moist. I said wet, actually. That goes all the way back to when we went moist. And we didn't really make much money off of this when we were moist. Very, very few dollars. But when we went wet, we immediately we popped up to almost 100,000 a year. So that's what we're bringing on average. It's creeping up. This year was 112,000. A couple years ago, before COVID, it was 114,000. So it fluctuates, but it hovers around 100,000. And that is 6% of sales. So, if you do the math on it, Henry County sold $1.6 million worth of alcohol last year. Not sure I'm proud of that. I like money, but when you put that dollar on it, that's a lot of alcohol sales for a small rural county. Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Economic Development Committee, Roger?
Yeah, we had our meeting before this meeting. It was a good meeting. We had a representative from KIPTA, Ethan Schrage, here to discuss the opportunities KIPTA gives us, and then also Clark Welch is here from the Louisville Inc. to present their package that would help us for economic development. We're moving forward with economic economic development. I don't think I can tell you exactly what's happening, but things are really moving. And I think you'll see it as it progresses.
Yes, Rick, we're very busy with that. We're getting a lot of calls in my office about different things, and I got some voicemail since I've been here already. But there's a lot of good things I think is gonna happen, and even with the sewers in Pendleton, some of the things that's wanting to come in now is gonna be, they'll be able to grow, as far as economically, so that changes some of the funding that's available for us. So it's very promising about getting the sewers done in Pendleton with some of just what happened in the last 2 or 3 days. I'm not at liberty to talk about it as far as who it is, but they are very, it sounds very promising to get those sewers in Pendleton. And I think when we get sewers there, we will see development. Of course, we got all the property at the Campbellsburg exit, but a lot of those, I've talked to several and they're not for sale. I mean, they wanna see what everything else brings, or, there's one property there that's, 3.5 million for 21 acres. So that one is for sale, and, you know, which, you know, who's to say what they're worth, but if they won't put a price on them, then we can't market them, so, hopefully some of those people will come off some property, because I think there's room for growth there right around the interstate exchange, and then we get these sewers done in Pendleton, and there'll be a lot of growth come there, I believe. Any questions or comments? All right, Sheriff's report, Keith.
We received 321 calls from KSP Dispatch, received 135 calls for service to the Sheriff's Office, had 44 citations and criminal summons, 31 criminal arrests, 6 warrant arrests, served 123 papers, transported 1 fugitive, transported 2 juveniles, transported 4 MIWs, special details and events had 1, vehicle inspections 56, carry concealed license 25, and had 7 drug arrest charges.
All right, any questions for Keith?
Sure.
All right, thank you, Keith. Okay, Greater Louisville Inc., Clark Welch, he's with us. He come to my office a couple weeks ago and made a presentation I had Roger come too, and made a presentation to us, and I felt like it'd be good for fiscal court to hear his presentation to see if it's something we'd be interested in. It's just a regional thing, and Clark, if you wanna, go ahead and give us a.
Sure. Thanks, Judge. So, my name's Clark Welch. I'm with Greater Louisville Inc., and we serve as the 15-county regional economic development organization. So, it's 5 counties in southern Indiana, 10 counties in Kentucky. And what we are attempting to do is we've had conversations like this with 12 of the other counties in this region, and all 12 have agreed to participate, hoping to get your all's buy-in and approval this evening. But essentially what we're doing is trying to formalize a regional economic development approach with investment from each of the county partners in our region. And the intent of that is to pool marketing dollars and have a common marketing brand, so that when we're going out and identifying opportunities out of market, talking to site selection firms and businesses that might be looking to either relocate to the region or to expand and have an additional presence in the region, that we've got common data, common marketing materials. We've already launched a common website earlier this summer. And the idea is if every county in the region contributes financially, then we're able to bring that group of stakeholders together, have conversations every quarter about what that marketing message looks like. We'll provide updates on the number of leads that we've had and the projects that are in our pipeline. And the general framework of this is that, individual communities don't win economic development projects in isolation, because the workforce is gonna come from the surrounding area. There's gonna be a sharing of common assets. And so we want to approach economic development in the same way, where we're pooling everybody's limited resources together to be able to go out and have a common strategy of engaging with site selectors, attending national conferences, so that when we have engagement with businesses from out of market that might be interested in this area, we've got sort of a one-stop shop, and we know who all of the stakeholders are to be able to grow the regional economy. So the way that we've approached this in terms of making it an equitable investment from each of the counties is base the investment on population. So counties with larger populations pay more into the partnership than smaller counties. And so what we're proposing this evening is, if I can talk about the numbers, is an investment of $1,600 from Henry County. It's based on a 10-cent investment per capita, and we use the investment levels from the most recent census in 2020. So as I mentioned, we've had similar conversations across the region. As of earlier this afternoon, we have Meade County joined, which I was encouraged to hear. So that takes us to 12 invested partners out of 15. So I'll pause there, and if you have any questions, happy to answer.
What was the website?
It's what's the URL, or it's greaterlouisvillepartnership.com.
It's a real good website.
And I'm glad you brought that up. One of the things we're going to be building out as county investors come on board is there's going to be an individual link for each county in the region. So we'll have a common set of data, workforce participation, unemployment rate, all kind of the information that businesses are interested in when they're looking at an area. And then we'll work with you all on crafting the narrative of like what are the things in Henry County or Shelby County or wherever that you all want to put forward as a compelling sales tool, if you will.
And who is in the county? Who is your representative in the county that you go to for that?
Right now, we've been working with the judge, but if that needs to be somebody else, I'm happy to engage.
I'm just curious.
Yeah.
He's contacted me before, and then we had met with another fellow that has worked for them. His name slipped my mind. Drew Jenkins. And he was telling us about this Greater Louisville Inc. And I do agree that we are so much stronger as a region than we are as an individual county. I just think that we can offer so much, because really economic development don't care where the county line is. And I think to me, the reason I brought Clark here, I feel like this would be a good investment. We could get this in there. We've got this where we could do this for $1,600. To me, I think we would. It's a very good investment for the county for economic development. But, I mean, it's completely up to you guys.
It's a nominal investment. So.
Mm-hmm.
Looking for a motion?
Yes,
I'll make a motion with join with 1,600
yes, sir.
annually.
Okay, second by you. All in favor? Okay. Any opposed? Roger, you voted for it. Okay, thank you, Clark, and we'll get you a check for that, but you can go ahead and put us down. And so when we do the claims and transfers, I'll need somebody to add that into that motion for that 1,600, because it's not on the claims.
Will that be even 1,600? Is it?
It is.
Okay, I didn't know.
Okay, we need to acknowledge the various county tax rates. This is something we don't have to vote on, but it's just, something that we had to, acknowledge every year now. So Travis.
Okay, the 2023 real estate and personal property taxes for the ambulance taxing district, 6% or 6 cents. The extension office, real estate's 4.1, property personal is 5.47. Health department is 4.0 for both. The library real estate is 8.9. The personal is 12.29. Soil conservation stayed the same at 0.89 for real estate, 0 for personal. Eminence Independent Schools is 66.9 for real estate, 66.7 for personal. Henry County is 68.8 for real estate, 68.8 for personal. The special Little Kentucky River Watershed District is 2.6 for real estate and 0 for personal.
We just have to acknowledge all those for the public. All right, next we got a resolution designation of applicant's agent for FEMA. It's one of those, Travis was already on there, I think, but we need to, we'll let, you got that?
But yeah, I just had them start signing them. Those need to be signed by everybody else. Both sheets, one's for Amy, one's for myself.
Okay. So
Yeah.
we need to sign it.
So everybody needs to sign.
But
on
it's
the master plan.
something, just so they can sign the papers for FEMA, we just done an application for some of the cleanup back in March, and it's
This is the last piece that we need to be able to get the funding for
to
it.
get that done. Just to make them legal to sign the documents. We don't have to
We
pass
need a
it.
motion to pass that resolution.
We probably do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we need a motion to pass that for Travis and Amy to be able to sign for FEMA application. Motion by Brad, second by Carl, all in favor? All right, motion carries, thank you. All right, we got the budget amendment establishing the opioid fund, the second reading. You got that, Travis?
Yep. So it's the second reading of the proposed ordinance amending the Henry County fiscal budget 2023-2024 to include unbudgeted receipts from the National Opioid Settlement in the amount of $109,834.89, and increasing the expenditures in the area of Fund 75 opioid settlement expenditures.
This is just, we got that opioid money and we hadn't deposited until this year, so, that's all it's for, is we gotta add it into our budget to make it legal, so we need a motion.
I'll make a motion, we add it.
All right, motion by Danny. Second by Kevin, all in favor? All right, motion carries.
We had an online class a week or so ago, and then that was the topic. One of them. There's some more federal money that's come down the pipeline, and a big chunk of money that we are eligible for our part of it. So I don't know who actually looks into that, but I need to take a hard look at that because we're eligible for a pretty fair chunk of that money.
Ethan, this is Ethan from KIPTA. Have you heard anything about more federal money coming on the opioid side?
I have not, no.
I think it's just more of the companies have settled. I think there's settlements from additional companies. I think that's what.
But it is out there.
Yeah, we've been staying on top of that. Denise she watches, and I tell you, KIPTA, they email our office all the time. Anytime something's out there, they try to make sure we apply for it, and they really work for us. Okay,
He needs to discuss the,
yes,
Expenditure.
Denise, you wanna talk about the, accepting the bids for the Angels Envy Sewer Project?
hold on a minute, what about the opioid expenditure option?
That's it.
Is that, okay.
So now that we have the money in our budget, we can now spend it, right?
Denise? Yes, ma'am, that's right. Yeah, that's the one we need to be on now. I was
Right.
talking about Angels Envy.
Oh.
You're good.
no.
Yeah, you're good, Denise. Yes, ma'am, you're right.
Oh, okay.
I was wrong.
Okay. So now that we have that money, and as probably as you heard, Ed, a lot of that is, it's very closely managed in terms of how it can be spent. And one of the ways that they have encouraged local communities to approach that is to work with nonprofit agencies that have programs in place. And actually, it says in terms of the KRS that you can use the money to provide funding for any project which supports intervention, treatment, and recovery services provided to persons with opioid use disorder or the co-occurring substance abuse or mental health issues. So we have spoken with Tri-County Community Action Agency, who runs the Hope Community Center in Eminence, and they have already had work in this area, and spoke with them, and we got a proposal. What they would like to do is they have requested $43,000. So you know what, we've got already 109, whatever it was. So they have made a proposal to us for $43,000, which would construct an office, a conference room, another office in the back for privacy, enclose the large conference room to allow for a lab, and the value of that is for any program that offers intensive outpatient services, which is the model that most people are using now. Most people, once they're detoxed, are doing intensive outpatient, not going somewhere and staying. That there has to be a lab on site as part of the treatment plan, as the way they work through that. And to help support getting in a provider. So they have got a plan for a company that's well advertised to come in and begin intensive outpatient services. And if that should happen not to fall through, they have 2 other organizations that are in line that want to come there. They have based this on estimates for what it would cost to do this. They can't provide any more services now because the offices and the rooms that are private are already occupied by other leasers. Kentuckiana Works, 7 County Services, and then Tri-County is running 3 of their programs out of there. So they need spaces for actual treatment. They have already applied for and received state certification to get a drug testing lab. And their plans for that would be for the intensive outpatient program to use it. Also, maybe potential employers or the court system, because right now there's not a facility in the county where any court-ordered or employment-ordered drug testing can take place. So it could happen there. Tri-County has committed some of their money. They want to see this happen, and I think they have demonstrated good faith in the work that they have already begun in the county. So.
This group that they're talking about is ARC. Some of you all was at the meeting and they've got a great program and a great success rate, a lot better than some of the others as far as their success rate. So I really feel good about, being able to get those, that company in our county. So I think it's a good thing.
They have already been they've been having bi-weekly meetings with Art, getting this all lined out, so they know exactly what it would take to get their presence here in the county.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second
All right, motion by Brad, second by, Ed, all in favor? All right, motion carried. Thank you. I think that's gonna be money well spent,
Wall County already has one, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Been very successful with it,
Trying-
from my understanding.
Try to help, yes.
Yeah, ARC is in Owen County, with the old hospital there.
Yeah, they're working over there, that's right.
Good, they're really good.
Yeah. Okay, the next is the approval to advertise for the Angels Envy sewer project. Do you have anything you need to say about that, Denise? I mean,
I can say that the Angels Envy engineers and their company have put together their proposal in conjunction with Carrollton Utilities in terms of what the specifications would be. And we just need to advertise to get the contractors. So they've got a plan in place to get the advertising done and to have the bid opening prior to the October meeting so that fiscal court could affirm the bidder that they select.
so we need a motion to advertise for that. All right, motion by Kevin, second by Carl, all in favor? All right, motion
Should
carried.
I tell them that it's going to be tomorrow?
Yes, you can, yes.
And I will add that based on the expectation that you all would approve that, we've already submitted that to the local, so you will see it tomorrow. Thank you.
The thing was, we had to get it all done by the right amount of time, we had to go ahead and put it in there, just because of the timing issues, they're so strict on that to get it right.
And we didn't even have an inside tip to cover her.
Yeah.
You saved my face.
Yeah. Okay, the QK4, we did talk today with them, and, I put it in your packet so you know what you're, voting on, but this is the remainder of the engineering for that Pendleton Sewer project, and what this is like for the technical stuff where they tell how deep the rock is and that kind of thing, so they'll do so the bid will come in at where they need to be instead of just guessing at what they're gonna be doing, so, I feel like this is what we need to do. Any questions on that?
I'll make a motion, we accept the proposal. Looks like they came in a little under what they.
Well, the first time, yes, we come in $40,000 less than what they had proposed, so they're,
I'll second it.
he's doing it by the hour to try to save us money that way.
He's written justification for this, three key points. It says, we're coming in under budget for final design. Original contract was a lump sum. Rather than billing it out, I've applied the remaining amount towards the fee, approximately $40,000. So what he's saying is he was under contract for $94,000, and he only did $54,000 worth of work. He could have charged us for $94,000.
Because that's what we agreed to.
But, he's taking that extra 40 and putting it on this, and then we're coming in below the rural development fee curve. So, I think he's doing a good job. He's taking this project personal because he's been doing it since 2012.
Yeah, he's been on it a long time, that's right. So we got a motion by, Danny and second by Brad, all in favor? All right, motion carries. So we'll get that taken care of. All right, the next thing on the agenda is we did get we went in closed session about the rent on the sheriff's building, and, we did get the bill in for that, this week, or last week, I guess, and we went ahead and paid that because it's already been voted on, but we just need to get it in the minutes that we was gonna pay that. Everybody knew the dollar amount. It was $5,800, I think.
Something like that, yeah.
$5,800 something dollars is what it was to the health department.
$6,551.
$6,500, yes.
What was it?
$6,551.82.
So.
Which was discussed in the February fiscal court, closed session.
Mhm. So that's been paid, just to let everybody know. That's the reason we wanted to get that into the minutes. All right, claims and transfers, and remember, we need to put that 1,600 on that for,
Economic.
Louisville Inc.
You need a motion for that?
Mhm.
Motion, we added that.
All right. Second by Dan. All in favor? All right, motion carries. Thank you. Okay, public comments. We allow 3 minutes per speaker, so. And Ethan, you may want to talk now. We thank you for coming. You come to the economic development. So if you want to take a little time here.
Sure. My name's Ethan Troggy. I'm from KIPTAS, the Area Development District that serves the region. Primarily what we do is we assist local governments in any of their projects that they have. So if there's any kind of economic development projects, things like that, we can assist with grant writing efforts to try to get some federal assistance, get some money in to help get these projects to fruition. We do a lot of cleaner water projects and things like that as well. We also do planning. So one of the things that I currently am working on is our comprehensive economic development strategy. So we have to develop an economic development strategy for the region. That's currently in public comment period. So if anybody wants to look at that, the website is kiptaceds.org. And you can look over what we put together, and if anybody has public comments, we do incorporate that into the plan. And we'll be more than happy to make any adjustments that are needed. So let me know if you have any projects, and we'll get a check for you. Yeah.
And I will say, KIPTA, they go above and beyond. They've got real good employees, and they're emailing us every day about something that's available or something we need to do or whatever, so they're very valuable. Thank you, Ethan.
Thank you.
Any other public comment? All right.
Good evening, folks. I think I'm friends with most of the folks here, but for those that I haven't met yet, my name is Aaron Reed. I'm actually a candidate for the Kentucky State Senate coming up election in May of next year. I'm from over in Shelby County. Live there with my wife and my 6 kids. I graduated from Shelby County High School in '95. My dad was a state trooper over there for 28 years. I graduated from Morehead State University. I went there on a shooting scholarship, actually, and when I graduated in '99, I went on to the Navy, joined the Navy in '99 and became a Navy SEAL. I was a Navy SEAL sniper. I served for 22.5 years, all around the world, conflicts all over the world, in multiple SEAL teams. And in December of 2021, I was faced with a decision to make. I had to either get the COVID-19 shot or have a forced retirement. So I chose medical freedom, and I retired. I currently own Op Supply, the gun store over in Simpsonville, Kentucky. I got another one in Louisville. I'm Kodiak Coating, which is a custom gun shop over in Shelbyville. I believe in faith, family, and freedom. My faith in God has brought me to this point now. I'm running for state senate. I believe He's a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. I believe that there's not enough of that in Frankfurt, and that's why I feel called to do it. My family, I've got my wife Sarah Hamilton, is her maiden name, and my 6 kids. We live on a 70-acre farm over in Shelbyville, near Waddy, where we have beef cattle, horses, sheep, chickens, and about 2 acres of strawberries, and we have probably the best strawberry patch in Kentucky this year. Our beef, our lamb, and our strawberries are sold over at the farm kitchen, which is right on US 60 there near Clay Village. My brother-in-law Paul owns that, Paul Hamilton. And my kids, I got my 6 kids, they're in just about every sport you can think of. I'm especially proud of my daughter who won the state championship this year for pole vaulting on the track team at Shelby County High School. Proverbs says a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. And we can all agree that $1 million bank account would be pretty awesome to leave for our kids, but it's really not worth the spit if we don't have the freedom and liberty to pursue happiness with it. I believe that freedom is a team sport. I don't believe you're elected into a kingdom, you're elected onto a team to serve we the people. And all the teams I've been on, I've learned one thing every time, and that's it's always better to be the backbone of the team than it is the jawbone. And on that, I thank you for the invite coming out. It's an honor to be here. I would consider it a blessing if I could earn your trust and your vote come May 2024. Thank you. Godspeed.
All right, anybody else in the public comment? Hugh?
A while back there, we talked about ways of raising revenue. Have y'all thought any more about doing a room tax deal to get anything like that started?
Yes, we're working on that. Cassidy's been working on that with the counties around us. So yes, we're gonna have that, pretty soon, yes, because I think it's very needed. And I think all the magistrates agree, because I've heard from a lot of them that we need to make sure that happens. So yes, it will be coming. Anybody else? Okay, any court comment? All right, I got a couple I need to make. One thing, the sheriff's department is getting these vehicles from Enterprise, so they will have trackers in those. So Cassidy felt that we needed to put a statement out that all vehicles in the county are subject, that the county owns, are subject to a tracker, just to make it legal and make sure we cover everything. So any vehicle that the county owns can be tracked anytime if we want to, or, most of them's not gonna get any trackers, but it will be, it could be a option that it would have a tracker on it. So just to make that public. And then the contract with the Lions Club. We're still, I hate to keep dragging this out, but Cassidy, she seems to think that we're close, but according to the application, it has to be a fire board. So we may have to appoint a fire board to be able to make this application. And what is the deadline on that application?
October 1st.
October the 1st, so we're running out of time. I could probably appoint a fire board tomorrow. That would be legal, wouldn't it, Cassidy? And put somebody, we'll have to get, there's several groups we gotta get on it, but somebody from the Lions group, which I guess you would want to be on that.
So we've got, I think Cassidy, in that application there should be a list of everybody that is required by the state.
By the statute,
Yeah.
yes.
So
Yes.
from the Saddlebred, the
Yes.
extension office, Farm Bureau.
If I can get a hold of all those people between now and tomorrow, we'll be okay.
I'll be with Keith Jeffries tomorrow, and we've been working on that, talking back and forth about it. So I believe between myself, Keith Jeffries, and Scott, and we can all put 4 heads together and try to get it appointed as quickly as
Because,
possible.
I mean, I'm not against it at all, but we might well do it the right way the first time to
We've
get
got
this
the-
done.
We've got the grant application ready to go, as soon as we can get the
The
legal stuff
legality done, then
figured
we're,
out, and, yeah, we can get it done.
and for anybody in the public that don't know what's going on, the Lions Club, they put on our fire and all that, but there's a grant that we can get for $100,000, and we can work on these lights, and that was what they was wanting to get us some new lights put up and all that, which would be great. Jarrett from KIPTA told me, he said, you need to be getting some money every year for this kind of stuff, so we're gonna push that. But just so the public knows what we're talking about.
Make a motion for him to have the authority to appoint the board.
And then whoever he appointed.
Cassidy, maybe you could, or Scott, the Lions Club has been doing the fair for many years, and we're recognized by the Fair Association as the Fair Board, and we operate as the Fair Board, so I guess I'm confused as to why there needs to be.
Because we are getting a premium payout.
We're already recognized by the Department of Agriculture and receive those premium payouts.
My limited understanding from Keith Jeffries, and he has a little bit more information than I do on it, but my limited, go ahead.
That's a little bit part of the problem is we have some individuals that are trying to circumvent the current organization, and Keith came to the Lions Club and talked about the livestock, and the current fair board, the Lions Club, decided that the youth livestock auction, that committee was going to handle the livestock, not Mr. Jeffries. And so it seems that because that decision was not taken lightly, that there's been another avenue, and so.
I know from what the county, from what we've been working on, was drafting a specific lease that was required based on the feedback that was given on the prior application. There was not a lease that specifically, a written document that allowed the county to lease this specific property to a fair board, which most of the other applicants, all the other applicants, according to the statute, that counties have a fair board, would make you eligible to receive this grant funding. So our problem was twofold on its face. Was one, we aren't technically a fair board, understanding that the Lions Club operates as a fair board and has for so many years. So they were willing, correct me if I'm wrong, we're willing to accept that application, but for we didn't have the second part, which was a lease document allowing a written instrument where they could rely on the disbursement of this grant or funded money with no written documentation to say that there is an actual lease for the premises. So they're not handing out money with no written guarantee that it's used for this specific property.
Well, I guess my opinion is I would encourage Judge Bates or whoever is making that decision or appoints this fair board, that it would be the current members of the Lions Club, and that we would not be creating or changing the fair board.
I don't think that's legal. I think it's gotta be from certain different organizations.
As long as they meet the requirements in the statute that you provided me, Rich, that there are a list of folks who are supposed to be titled on the fair board or have a seat on the fair board. And from my understanding, that's not going to be an issue, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. So we have those guidelines. That's statutory guidelines.
But we don't have that many people on the fire board, do we? I mean, on the Lions Club.
I don't know, that's a question for you. Do we have, after reviewing the statute, are there folks, as many on the fair board that's required by the statute?
Yeah, we have that in our minutes from meeting on August 21st.
Okay.
We can provide those for Karen.
Do you have that available? I could get that from you tomorrow?
I'll get it tonight.
Tonight?
Yeah.
We'll get with you, and, cause I mean, like I say, I'm all for this, I think it's great. We just wanna make sure we do it one time and get it right. That was my concern, and when I talked to Cassidy before, I'm afraid that we're gonna have to back up and punt if we're not careful. and miss this deadline too. So I'd rather get it done right the first time. So that's where we're at.
So I think we need a motion giving Scott the authority to appoint the Fair Board.
I'll make that motion.
Second by Brad. All in favor? All right, motion carried. So we'll work on that. We'll get together tomorrow. I'll give you a call, or somebody will give you a call. We'll try to get it worked out, because I think we need to try to get this done.
Very good.
Any other comments?
I mean, the fire board's just volunteer, it's not gonna affect their money.
No, none whatsoever.
I think, I've said it all along, I think it'll make it better with the fire board and the Lions Club working together. It'll make it stronger. Every other county around has got a fire board, you know, and they have good fires.
Yeah, that's what we
need to
do.
work to make it better.
We
Everybody
wanna
does.
build it, I mean, because really, to me, the county fair is one of the best things that happens in this county, just because that's the only
they're working hard. I mean,
vacation some people
I'm not
get.
saying nothing
And I
bad
know
about
it's not a
them.
vacation for none of y'all.
No.
So, that's where, we'll get that worked out.
All right, thank you.
Thank you all. All right, I'll take a motion.
I got one more thing. There was nothing said about the ambulance tax district on the thing this time. There's a couple of important pieces of information that I've been questioned about since I've been on this board, so we'll make sure it gets out to the public. Okay. We've been questioned about the average response time for ambulances and who keeps the records. The average response time is 12 minutes and 7 seconds. That's as of the time the ambulance leaves the door. It's not kept by Baptist Health, it's not kept by Henry County, it's kept by Kentucky State Police Post 5. It's public record, you can go in there and pull it at any time. We also, I think we brought up a couple meetings back that we ordered new heart monitors because the other ones were failing and they were non-upgradable. All of our ambulances now have the newest heart monitors in, and all of our people have been trained.
All right, thank you.
That's all I got.
Okay, I'll take a
We're
motion.
still having trouble with help. They 3 was resigning,
Well, 2 from Henry County resigned and 3 from Oldham County
Right.
resigned last week
Yeah.
because, they're all going to St. Matthews because St. Matthews is paying more money.
Baptist only has something.
Yeah, it's an
I
issue.
mean, that's a whole different thing to get into. We're talking about all the overtime, salaries and all that. As of right now, we have everything covered with the new schedule, supposedly.
All right, any other comments? Somebody wanna make a motion, or we gonna sit here?
Make a motion.
All right,
Get out of here.
Make a motion.
second, Kevin, all in favor? All right, thank you all, everybody for coming.
Brad made a motion.